In this video, we're gonna cover the footlock. When I was coming up in Jiu Jitsu in the 90s, yes, I'm pretty old, back then a footlock was considered a cheap move. Now we're seeing it used way more often. It's a respected move, and at the end of the day, if there is a submission that's very efficient, that gets someone to tap, then I believe we should be using it. You know, there's many different ways to enter into X guard. Let's start from that position, okay? I'm in the footlock. Maybe I'm not doing this position properly, and you take my foot out. Boom. I'm gonna take this and go underneath. I'm going from this foot on the hip to a short hook underneath the leg. My other leg that's on this side either comes across and stomps on the foot, or I don't extend all the way to get countered with the footlock of my own, but I just kind of place it on the hip and line up my foot with his back. From here, I destabilize by raising my hip up, and I place all of my weight on his hip. Now, I grab the collar. That ensures that the blade of my forearm is now cutting into his Achilles or low on his ankle. And I don't like finishing on my elbow. Some people do that. I don't prefer that. What I do is I get to my shoulder, I raise my hip up, and then I drive my hip into the ankle. So it's very important that all your weight's kind of on your shoulder. This leg is preventing him from sitting up. Actually, both legs are kind of doing that. This is making a frame underneath his leg. The other one's coming up and over, kind of planting his hip to the mat. I have a nice tight grip. All my weight on my shoulder with my butt off the mat. And now I raise my hip, getting the tap. I'm gonna slide underneath. And let's say I started in an X guard, okay? He removes my foot. Anytime someone removes my foot here, I'm kind of blocking this leg so they can't step back, right? Exactly. So I'm gonna come here, and before he steps forward, I get this short hook. Try to come forward, gotta go back. Now, this leg that's here is gonna go forward. I'm gonna raise my hip up. I'm gonna feed my hand to the collar with my thumb up. I put my shoulder on the mat. My butt is off the mat, and now I'm gonna raise my hip. I'm not bending backwards here this way. I'm actually driving the sharp blade of my forearm into the back of his Achilles, getting the tap. Hips up, and now I'm generating force from the floor into my blade of my forearm, getting the submission. It's a very efficient lock that you can hit from the top position, a variety of guards. You know, when both guys sit to close guard, we've seen guys like Mikey Musumeci hit this on some of the best in the world. So the footlock is a great submission to explore. So hopefully you guys can learn some details from this one and integrate it into your arsenal.